Oh. So I was just riding along and noticed a man up a tree, quite precariously. He's up there with a machete and that plastic container, which is now filled with what I would say is coconut sap. And I'd also say that's for the purposes of making arak. Buat arak. Well, we have confirmation. Mau kemana sekarang? Buat?
Belum.
Boleh saya lihat?
Belum.
Belum.
Proses.
Oh,
Belum.
belum before.
Belum.
Before. Okay. Boleh saya datang dengan kamu lihat?
Boleh.
Boleh. Okay. All right. We're going on a grand tour. I can smell that actually. It smells like it's already partially fermented. Not sure how we got down here. Holy hell. All right. Hello. Boleh saya merekam video? Okay. So we've got the sap there. We've got dogs here. Who knows what's in here? Okay. All right. So the fire, and this is like a pot still, and there's kelapa juice or sap. Okay, cool. Nama saya Ben.
Ben.
Siapa nama?
Sadia.
Sadia.
Yeah.
Senang bertemu dengan kamu. Okay, so I've just had a smell of that. And yeah, so that's coconut sap, and that is already fermenting. I can smell the sort of yeastiness and sourness of that. We're having a little taste of this because I thought it would be sour. It is a little bit sweet, but it's also a little bit sour. Interesting. I've lived in 2 countries where it's legal to distill your own spirits, so I've done it. I'm not coming into this blind. I've got past form, I've got information, namely New Zealand and Slovenia. And the setup I was using in Slovenia is just like here. Old school, fire under a barrel. Very cool. I hope I can dig out a photo. If I can, here it is now. Yep, that was it. The thing about that coconut tree the guy was up is it's just in the middle of town. It's not even like in a plantation or anything. Well, I guess, why not? It's a resource, yeah? Well, I can already tell that this video is going to be all over the shop. I all of a sudden became, hello! I all of a sudden became somewhat of a celebrity in the village and had people coming at me with questions and all sorts of things all at the same time. It was crazy. And I know I was in the middle of explaining things about distillation because arak is kind of an important topic when it comes to Bali, because I know there's plenty of news of arak situations gone wrong for travelers and tourists in Bali. But I just got given the hot tip that if I follow this road, there's a lovely, lovely view from a hill. Ooh. Apa ini? Oh, sekolah. Wow, check this out. How fancy is that school report? Wow. Congratulations. Cool. Okay, bukit ya. Bukit, lurus. Lurus. Okay.
You know Gembleng? Gembleng.
Gombleng.
You know?
Gombleng.
Yeah.
No, Gombleng.
Where you go?
Oh, Jalan-jalan Bukit.
Oh yes.
Bukit.
Oh, speak Indonesia.
Oh, sedikit.
Where you come from?
Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
Where do you live here?
Uh,
Tabolo.
maybe 30 minutes motorcycle ride away.
Siduman.
Yeah, closer to Klungkung.
Oh, Kelungkung.
Yeah.
Oh, Villa Tulungkung.
Yeah, tidak villa, sedikit rumah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, senang bertemu dengan kamu.
Happy New Year.
Oh, Happy New Year to you
Happy-
too.
Yeah.
Beautiful lady. Beautiful lady. Right. Further demonstrating that this video is going to be all over the place. And I apologize too for this wobbly video. My recording device that used to be so good at capturing buttery smooth video while attached, hello, to the handle of, to the mirror of this motorbike has died, sadly. What the hell was I talking about? Who knows? Let's get up a hill and regroup. If we can, without being stopped by more hyper-friendly locals. Hello. There's one now. I really am stopping recording now. Hello, mister. Mau kemana? Bukit. Bukit melihat bagus. Apa bisa berbahasa Inggris? Haha. Apa bisa berbahasa Inggris sedikit? No.
No Spanish, no.
Okay. Saya bisa pergi
Jalan-jalan.
jalan-jalan?
Oh, bisa.
Visa? Okay, cool. So, having received now mixed signals from multiple people within 25 meters, I was muddling through some Indonesian with an older guy, and he said, yeah, man, follow the road. Then had another guy say, where are you going? And I said, oh, I was told there was a road up here. He said, oh, yeah, okay. I asked him if it was safe. He said yes. But then I've just had someone else emerge from the forest and say, nah, man, you can't go that way. I had already found myself at an impasse. I shall show you the impasse. This being the impasse, so I decided, okay, cool. I've got the footwear for it. It's a hike from here. But yeah, I just had someone come and say, no, you don't want to do that. And tragically, recently in the news, a person in Canggu who was about to attempt to cross some very deep water in a street, who was strongly urged by locals not to, lost their lives. They were swept away. It wasn't so much about the depth of the water, it was the current. They tried to go through with their bike, and unfortunately that person was found the following day deceased. And with that in my mind at the moment, if a local tells me, no, you don't want to do that, I'm going to take their word for it. Look, I didn't get up the hill, but that's a decent view, isn't it? So it turns out we're in a hotbed of arak making here. And so, okay. Kelapa juice? Kelapa. So this is all coconut sap or juice fermenting.
Yes.
And then over here. Okay. Whoop. So the husks are in here. Oh, for flavor? Yeah, okay. Husks for flavor. And then, all right, now I'm understanding the process better now. I missed out a step. So we've got the fire is under these, and then the vapor is going out through there, and then here Dingin. Dingin, yes. So here, those pipes are going through cool water, although it's probably panas?
Enggak.
Oh, warm. Okay. So that's what's causing the condensation. And then you've got the distillate coming out here. So that's the process. Makasih, Pag. So this is the particular label of this place. So, you know, this is pretty serious construction, and it goes into bottles like that. And that's how you will commonly see arak. You may walk past places and think, wow, that's a pretty funky label on a bottle of water, but it's most likely going to be arak. Oh, sedikit. I'm going to have a little try of this brew. I've just let this gentleman. Thank you. So definitely want to give that a smell first. I'll tell you why in a moment. Ooh, that's warm all the way down. And not too bad, actually. Okay, I'll tell you a little bit more about this in a moment. So it's probably obvious that today's episode was not planned, but when a man shimmies up a tree with a machete, that gets your attention. Then things have been unfolding kind of in real time. Thoughts and ideas and happenings all coming thick and fast, none of them reaching their ultimate conclusion. Part of my brain during this process has been saying, oh man, gonna have to do some serious editing to make this video make sense. And then I thought, people aren't stupid, they'll figure it out. You're figuring it out, aren't you? I am currently having a little wander in some laneways, and I'll be honest, I don't know where I am. I am generally in the vicinity of Sidaman. The place I was where I found myself in 2 distillery setups, and where the man up the tree was a village called Kebang. I think that's K-E-B-A-N-G. And look, seeing as we're on the subject of arak, I probably would be sensible to present a little disclaimer saying that you are responsible for yourself, and anything I say about arak, whether you should or shouldn't drink it, I'm not an expert. I'm not a professional. I'm just talking about my experiences and telling you how I go about things when it comes to arak. I know in the news, not just in the news, in reality, there have been some tragic situations with arak, not just in Bali, but also in, I believe, Laos. And so it is something to be taken seriously. But I do want to tell you how I go about approaching arak in a way that is not either drink arak or don't drink arak. But first, as often happens, I'm hungry. There's all manner of things going on here. I think that gentleman is, I think that's like caramelized garlic, or is that fruit? Sayur atau buah? Okay. Lots of things going on here, but I'm in the midst of having trouble with my tummy, and I'm needing to be a little bit boring with my food choices. As you probably would have ascertained from various videos by now, I love my spice. breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but I'm really having to be kind to my tummy. And so, whereas usually I'm the, oh, I've never seen that before, let me eat that guy. I just can't take those chances at the moment. And it's not because I think that there might be something wrong with that food. That's not the chance I'm talking about. I just need to get my tummy right. I'm kind of in day 8 or 9 of things being not quite right. Ended up at a doctor after all of the meds that I carry with me failed to make a significant dent. So currently taking antibiotics. That looks to be satay chicken. And there's somewhere to sit. That's always a bonus, rather than just having to wander away and, you know, sit on the curb. Can't go too wrong with some satay chicken. And what's good is these ones are actually fresh raw meat instead of, sometimes you'll see them sort of par cooked and they're really just heating them. Oh, what's going on here? Ooh. Oh, saya mau ini. So those little round things, that's sticky rice. So now that I've seen that, that's what I'm having. So I've just had a revelation while I've been sitting here waiting for my food to be prepared. I'm actually in Cinnamon Village. I didn't know that. I knew I was in the Cinnamon area. As mentioned, I was over in Kabang before. Just stopped here because there seemed to be plenty of action at a junction. And now I can reveal I'm in Cinnamon Village. So this is the process for mine. Man just asked did I want spicy, but the aforementioned tummy troubles mean just a little bit. Saya sedang sakit dan minum antibiotik. And it's sticky rice? Yeah. Okay. Makasih, look at that. That's a feast. So the sticky rice doesn't have any sweetness to it, but that satay sauce is amazing. I could eat the satay sauce by itself. Wow. There's although there was no sweetness in the sticky rice, there's a real sweetness in the chicken. I think it's that sweet soy sauce, and because it's been on the flame, it's really caramelized. It's almost like molasses. It's very, very tasty. So if you're in Cinnamon Village, look for the junction. It's a 3-way roundabout, and just maybe this dude will be here making very, very, very tasty satay ayam. So I've had it confirmed that indeed it is the last day of school, and there's lots of proud parents around and lots of kids and parents with that really fancy blue report. We all know how good last day of school feels, right? Trying to be respectful and not too revealing, just spotted, you know, a bunch of people interacting with the river. Behind me, there's actually a guy just sitting waist deep, chilling on his phone. There's people here doing laundry and bathing. And I thought, yeah, why wouldn't you? So let's. That's refreshing. So in the episode that's probably going to be called the As I Was Saying episode. Let's talk about arak. And a common theme in a lot of my videos, in my opinions, is that life's not this or that choices. Life is not black or white. There's always something in the middle. So it's not a case of don't ever try arak when you're in Bali. It's more a case of be mindful of the circumstances under which you might try arak. So, first and foremost, if it's premixed in a cocktail, I wouldn't touch it. I'm not telling you what to do, I'm just saying I wouldn't touch it. I don't know what it is, I don't know what strength that is, I don't know where it came from. If it's at a bar, and I've not really had this situation. I was going to say if it's at a bar and it's at a reputable bar, that sounds like exactly the kind of touristy place you wouldn't find me in. But there are some known brand arak. I don't know what the plural of arak is. Araks. And if you're at a high-end bar or you're at a resort, it's bad for business if tourists get sick, unwell, or worse. So if you're seeing it behind the bar and it's got a label on it, I've also seen arak duty-free at the airport. Those are all going to be fine. In around 2021, 2022, the Indonesian government officially recognized arak as a Bali spirit, and with that came, so prior to that, it wasn't so much illegal because arak has been used for centuries as part of ceremonies and rituals. You can't make that sort of thing illegal, but outside of that setting, for commercial purposes, it wasn't legal, or perhaps existed in a grey area. Since 21, 22, that has changed. And I will link to a video in the description of a discussion between a guy and I think he's the head of the Bali Bar Professionals Association. It's not that, it's a far more succinct title. But it's a guy who is advocating for arak to become the seventh spirit. What does that mean? You've got your, he says, counting them off, vodka, rum, tequila, gin, whiskey, including bourbon, brandy, and another one that, if I haven't mentioned it, is obviously escaping me. And this guy's advocating for, hey, we need regulated production. We need a coordinated quality control effort across the island. And if we do that, and if hospitality professionals position arak as a viable, not alternative to, but inclusive of the established spirits, that they really could make Bali arak a thing. I have gone off on a tangent. What a surprise. Anyway, drinking arak. Why don't I just tell you the circumstances under which I would drink it? I drank it just now. Did you see how much I drank? The tiniest little sliver. And generally, if it's in a social setting, you'll be encouraged to have it as a shot. I will never do that. And whenever locals are saying, hey, come and drink with us, which when you're traveling by yourself and you're in places that don't see too many foreigners, people are just being hospitable. First thing I'll always do is I'll say politely that I don't want to. I know that they are going to insist. And then my middle ground is let me smell it first. Now, what am I smelling for? I'm just smelling for anything that seems off. What makes bad arak bad? Methanol. That's what makes it bad. Can you smell methanol? Not really. But you can smell things. I think the caveman brain knows when something's not quite right. If you're at all bored by the distillation process, skip forward 5 minutes. In the distillation process, and I'm speaking from experience here, the first distillate that comes out, that trickles out, that's known as the head And that's coming out when the liquid isn't at its highest temperature yet. And at that slightly lower temperature where the liquid is boiling, but not boiling profusely, a whole lot of really volatile, awful things are in that vapor. One of those things is methanol. Another one is I don't know what it is, but the one that smells like nail polish, or the one that nail polish remover is made from. Bad. So the head, you always cut off the head. You never use what comes out at the start. Then you get into the heart, and the heart is where everything's humming along at the perfect temperature, and really all that's being released in the vapor at that point is the alcohol that we know and in some instances love. And then you've got the tail, and the tail, by that stage, a lot of the water content of whatever it is that you're fermenting has boiled away, and you're now boiling either whatever solids are in there or oils and fats that are in there. So if you saw that coconut sap that I was trying, that was quite thick and viscous, and there was a lot of things in there that weren't just straight up watery liquid. So you want to throw the tail away as well, and just by keeping the heart, that's where the good stuff is. However, like I said, you can't actually smell methanol. If you've ever purchased methylated spirits for some home DIY or something, that smell that methylated spirits has got has been put in there so that people don't drink it for the alcohol content. So yeah, back to when I will try arak. I'll try it in that setting that I just tried it now, and I tried a sliver of it, and that tasted to me pretty pure. There was nothing funky about the smell, but that was enough for me in that sort of setting. I've then had situations where I'm walking down the street. It's happened to me a lot in Batu Bulan in Sukawati. Walking down the street, and locals are just saying, "Hey, mister, come and party with us." And hey, I don't like to be rude. And in that setting, I've walked past some of these people a couple of days prior, and they've been on the arak as well. So if there's anything wrong with it, those people wouldn't have been there after that. They would have been hospitalized. So in those circumstances, I know, okay, this is probably okay. But still, I'm going to limit myself to one or two. I'm never having multiples. The only circumstances under which I'd have multiples is if I bought a bottle from a reputable retailer. That's the only circumstances. So again, with the legal disclaimers, I'm not saying, hey, man, chill. Go drink yourself some arak. You've got to make those decisions for yourself. You are responsible for your actions. But just have a think about the circumstances. And look, I think sometimes people feel a bit bad about refusing, but if you're not sure, better to feel like you're being rude than waking up in a hospital or not waking up at all. For those people who skipped ahead 5 minutes, hey, check it out, man! I'm bathing in a river! I've just come across this lady here who is making this beautiful, beautiful fabric on a loom, and language has definitely been an issue, and this dog has also been an issue. But it's cantik, bu, cantik. It's beautiful, it's lovely. Okay. Boleh saya lihat buat? So we'll have a little look at the way she does this. Oh, so she has to strap in. Okay. This is really quite something. Wow, so that's made line by line. That pattern, she's like a human computer.
Hey, anjing.
Kamu manusia komputer. Wow, line by line. Berapa lama waktu? Dua minggu. 2 minggu. Oh, wow. So 2 weeks to make one. 2 minggu. Dan kamu jual? Jual. Yeah. Oh, and so she sells these. Look at this process. How did humans ever figure this out? Mind blown. Man, you see these sorts of things in a shop and you don't even think twice. Oh, that is super cool. Look at this process now. Line by line, thread by thread.
Anjing.
Anjing tidak suka bule.
Anjing.
Okay. Well, I'm borderline speechless at this process. Okay, terima kasih Bu. Terima kasih.
Sama.
Amazing. Mantap. Okay. Bye-bye.
Suk semua. Makasih.
Suk semua. We didn't make it to the top of that hill before, but I've made it to the top of this one. It's called Bukit Bula, and I'll give you a little peek at it in a moment. I just wanted to round out the arak thing first. So to summarize, the way bad arak, poisonous arak, arak with methanol in it, ends up in someone's drink is because the producer has included too much of the head, that first part of the distillate with the methanol in it, in the finished product. The media loves to peddle fear, and I'm not minimizing what has happened to people as a result of drinking bad arak when they're on holidays in Southeast Asia. But well-balanced, well-researched stories that present facts and information just don't make the news because they don't get the clicks. So really, that's on you. So on your next travels, are you going to approach things, not just arak, anything that you may have a fear of? Are you going to approach those things from a place of, oh, I'm not doing that? Or are you going to look at it a different way and maybe find out a bit more about it, inform yourself and mitigate the risks by having that knowledge? Have a think about that for a second.